Have you ever stopped to think about why no one taught you what sex really is? Why is something so essential to life treated as a secret, surrounded by taboos and silence? The answer is simple. They don't know. No one ever taught you because they themselves never learned. And that is exactly what creates so many problems in our lives, especially for young people. From an early age, we are told not to talk about sex. It is something that society hides, sweeps under the rug. Instead of having honest conversations with our parents or learning about sexuality in a healthy way at school, what happens? Young people end up seeking answers in pornography. Pornography portrays sex as a mechanical act devoid of intimacy, respect, love, and spirituality. It is a distortion of what sex really is. It transforms something that should be a deep and spiritual connection into a mere physical act. When sexuality is learned in this way, without context, without dialogue, it becomes a source of problems, not of pleasure and fulfillment. Society never wanted you to understand the true power of sex. If you knew what sex really is, you would have great power, a power they could never control. When sex is understood through pornography, it comes loaded with unrealistic expectations and is distorted. This creates a huge dissonance between what young people see and what they experience in real life. They end up developing insecurity, anxiety, and even sexual dysfunctions, because what they learned does not match reality, and this in turn affects all areas of our lives. Relationships, self-esteem, confidence, mental health, and even their spiritual connection. This lack of sexual education creates a deep disconnection with one's own body, with one's own pleasure, and more importantly, with one's own spirit. How many people do you know who are ashamed of their bodies, who have never learned to value their own pleasure, who see sexuality as something separate from spirituality? And this is a direct reflection of our society, which never taught you what sex really is. When you do not understand your body, when you do not perceive pleasure as something natural or spiritual and positive, you live in repression, dissatisfaction, and disconnection from your deepest self. And when we talk about love, things get even more complicated. Society comes from an idea of romantic love, full of expectations and fantasies. But what they don't tell you is that true love is very different. True love is not just a feeling, but a spiritual force that transcends the physical. It is not about finding someone who fills all the gaps, but rather about accepting the other for who they really are, not for what they can offer. True love begins within you, in acceptance, in respect for yourself, and for your spiritual connection to your higher self. The big problem is that they enter relationships with unrealistic expectations, seeking in the other the solution to their problems, while the true solution lies in loving and being loved and connecting with their own spirituality. And that is why so many relationships fail. Voilà there proposes a radical change in this narrative. It is time to stop living at the mercy of a society that prefers to keep you ignorant. It is time to start understanding sex, love, and spirituality for what they truly are. Powerful forces that, when understood and respected, can lead you to a life full of fulfillment, happiness, and spiritual connection. What no one told you is that your sexuality is an essential part of who you are, and it is deeply connected to spirituality. Denying this, repressing it, is denying a vital part of your soul, and that is why so many people are unhappy. They transform and have been taught to fear their own nature, seeing pleasure as something dangerous or spirituality as something separate from their body. But pleasure, when experienced consciously and respectfully, is one of the purest expressions of love or one's connection with the divine. So, why has no one taught you this? Or why do they prefer that you remain in the dark, confused and easy to control? But now you know, and with this knowledge, you have the power to change your life, to reconnect with your spirituality, and to live a life where sex, love, and spirit are no longer separate, but integrated into a harmony that takes you to a level far beyond. The time has come to stop following what society says about you. The time has come to start discovering who you really are in all dimensions of your being. This includes your sexuality, it includes your pleasure, your ability to love and be loved, and your spirituality. Because in the end, true love, true sexuality, and true spirituality are not something you find outside of yourself, but something you cultivate within yourself. It is a journey of discovery, of transformation. I invite you to take the first step. In the book Voilà, I show you how sex, love, and spirituality can integrate you to lead you to a life of full fulfillment. But it is up to you to start this journey